Heyo, it's the Normal Playing Guy, and I'm going to do this video as an interesting test. One, to see if this particular EZA can be done on the basis as possible. But also, in response to one of my videos, is they need help to do this. Well, I'm going to try and do my best to actually do precisely that. So here we go, we have Vegito's EZA. Now the criteria is artificial life forms and LR power. Now it's a little bit dodgy and I'm trying to do this the best that I can, blind by the way, at level 11, with no, we'll just get rid of him for now. So like for example, the LRs, there's a few. We got Baby for one, who would be a must as a lead. We have LR Boo, and then we can go down as much as we have stuff like LR Cell, the other LR Cell like the physical. We have, let's see, LR Metal Cooler. So there's a lot on here which we can do in terms of actually being able to do this, and there's a lot of other decent options, but the problem is LR Power is going to be the way. Now I've chosen this particular lead because he's a free-to-play LR EZA, right? So he would trigger well with the guest, and as you see, the guest is going to be that all-important Baby, also EZA, and chances are you'll have the guest, no worries. So I'm going to jump in totally blind. Can you do this with this team, which as far as I'm aware might be the lowest possible chance this team could do without sacrificing too much? I mean, admittedly, it's going to be in-game content, period. So you're going to have a certain level of people, but can we do this? So there's various people that we can work on with. So I'm actually going to float the Cell off. Now I know Baby's on the next rotation, but I can't afford him to have him on. To be fair, might be able to do that, keep him on. So we will do this for one. I'll tell you what, let's do this. I have no idea if this will or won't work. All I know is a key one could be the recent EZA type supports. Now I think I have to throw them in because they would help prop up all the other AGL units in this. And that's kind of the deal. Wow! Basically 7 million and we're about to do nothing for damage. We're probably going to be tanky. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's a super attack, perfect. So, I mean like, the Cell, the first form Cell, probably not so much to take an attack. What does this do? This does nothing. So, like, defensively, we're probably going to be fine, especially if this guy takes nothing on a normal. We probably are fine, but we're just doing nothing offensively. Like 85, I mean, he isn't the strongest. There are others. There's Cell Junior, who you could use as a lead, and he's an artificial 130%, same as this Cell, but this Cell is a free-to-play lead, is what I'm trying to get at. Crits would do the damage you'd expect. So we need to keep, we could float Baby off, but I'll keep him on. So right now, who's going to have the best? What's doing it? Metamorphosis and Big Bad Bosses is doing it justice with the guest coming in. So that's really nice, and he's got a lot of key. I think that Skinny Boo will be really nice for dodges. Remember, if you have the Cell Junior and he's got his EZA, you could rock him as a lead and he'd be better because he'd be AGL. He'll have an overall higher defense, probably, and of course being type advantage. See, the LR coming out with a decent amount, took off about a health bar, that's pretty good. 2.76 is kind of crap, but again, we need defensive units more than offensive. And remember, this is level 11, which means that all 10 stages have been done prior, which means that if I can complete this stage with this people, it is possible to do the other 10, of course. So let's see. Oh, sweet dodge. See, this is where he's going to be clutch, because this dude has a 50% chance to dodge, so he's going to be utter clutch. We could build up 17. He's just supered, so theoretically we should be able to build him up. His current stats are nothing special. Really nothing special here. But let's see. As I say, defensively we're mostly fine. 56 is a lot. But we get defense on super and damage reduction as well with every amount that we actually get hit. So, okay, getting better. Not really special there. Ooh. Taking some hits. And Cell at the end, maybe it was the worst choice actually putting him in slot 3. Could take some hits and could die. It all depends on if he supers or not. Because I mean, previously he took 87k, which is not great because we wouldn't survive the incoming attacks. 50k, no super, and we might live. No, we dead. Oh, we lived. Oh, but baby transforms. Okay, admittedly, Cell in the last spot was not great. Right, so this is where we could get some good crits, and we're only down not even 2 health bars. This is not the most ideal situation we got here. We'll do that because at least it drops the AGL for later. So like some big time crits here would be huge. So I mean, like, just having one LR in this just to help bolster the power is going to be good. There are a plethora of others. This is strictly a main AGL build because, like, if you don't have the LRs, you're gonna want to stick with AGL at the very least. And there are a few. It's getting sketched. There's just no doubt. Looking at the other AGLs, I mean, you could have Gamma 2, but I've chosen not to run him because who's got Gamma 2 these days, right? Maybe not. There is Ames in his 3rd form, potentially as well, could actually work out. You know, you could get something out of that. I think Cell Jr., if I don't do well, I might swap out the Cell for Cell Jr. And see if that works. Maybe I could swap out some of the others. It all depends because, as I say, this is endgame content, and there's only so much I can actually do on this video, but I'm most determined to see if this can be done. Another disappointing feature is because these Great Apes don't link, it means that they're not getting legendary power, which means we're not getting the damage, and we need to rely on crits in order to do anything. Crits would do close to 1 million, which would massively help, but as it stands, we're just not doing very well. We probably also wouldn't survive the next rotation unless Metarildo, who comes around, unless he changes a ton of orbs for us, which I think he can actually, because he's had his easy A, and I think once only if you fall below 50%, you will actually get all the orbs back. So we probably will get a chunk of healing back, which is not so bad, but that'll be after this rotation, right? So, let's see, we are now officially down. Yeah, so we got the 50% buff from him. So we are down 2.5 health bars. Not great. What I like about this particular rotation, why I brought him, is for the LR. Oh yeah, 600 is fine. For the LR, we are going to be given 60% free key, which is huge. As well as, you know, being an orb changer, having those heals is going to be absolutely exquisite. He also gets, by the way, 50% on his defense from this, which is 10 million. That's insane considering it's a 130 and a 170. No kid, that's a 130 and a 170, and he's still doing 10, 11 million. See the crits, look at that, half a health bar with crits propping up. This guy who's doing, what is he, look, he's doing 19 million. That's absurd. And the damage, it's just not 19 million's worth of damage, but you know, defensively this rotation is absolutely solid. It's funny seeing a 19 million and a 10 million attack stat and they do bugger all. It's just one of the more hilarious things going. Okay, so Boo's looking pretty good. That amount of defense we can get a solid heal from. We're trying to cherry pick and choose the correct amount of orbs to dodge and weave. We'll let Super 17 build up a bit more. So this rotation, that's what I mean, offensively, I mean 1.6 just isn't going to cut the mustard. I still think it's possible. If we can duck and weave, so we're halfway through. Turn 5, we're about halfway through. Oh, perfect, that's kind of how it has to go. Now, could you run this with others? Realistically, no. If you're going to run non-LRs, you're going to have non-AGL, but like top of the range. We're talking like STR transforming Super Boo, who has had his easy A. We're talking STR Super 17, which is Hellfighter in Standard 17, right? We're talking Tech Baby, but you'd have to have them alongside the LR Baby. We're talking Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, but you'd have to literally run Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. This is absolutely beautiful, watch this. So that would put us at respectable, honestly. I think Baby actually would have been better, that's interesting. So like, yeah, Gamma 1, Gamma 2, if you got it. LR Super Boo. Are you going to have LR Super Boo? I'm on the impression you don't. So I'm on the impression you've got this free-to-play LR alongside LR Baby, which we've got in this rotation. So LR Baby is about to do crazy damage. Let's see if Metarildo can survive this attack, because honestly this would keep up the defensive posture. We have... yeah, no, that's fine. So this 18 million with this LR power is the reason why I've got this guessed as it is. And it's utter... look at that, like a quarter, a third of his health. That's precisely why. And that means Cell is also going to punch above his weight, and we're close to finishing this. Okay, if he'd have critted, it would have been good. Okay, double's fine. We're probably going to be down to more or less a health bar. So is it possible to do this? Basically, yes. Okay, we get the transformation. That's an increase in stats, so that's an increase in defensive and slight offensive viability. Honestly, offensively, not going to matter. Mind you, 300k would matter. That's actually not too shabby. We'll give you that, and 17, while he may show 45k, does have a chunk of damage reduction. If Metarildo can change those physical orbs, that'd be huge. So defensively, again, we're fine. Like, what other options could you choose? There's the free-to-play Gammas? No. There is the free-to-play Metal Coolers? No. I mean, even if you ran LR Metal Cooler, the Int one who's free-to-play? Nah. If you ran physical LR Cell, you'd have to run them alongside the Int, because again, LR. There is stuff like, from Dragon Ball Fusions or whatever, Baby Janemba, yeah, maybe, but you'd have to have them alongside perhaps something like Golden Cooler, because they would link up fairly well. Really, this is probably, I mean, like, okay, Hellfighter 17, along with the AGL one for Artificial Life Forms, could be a dynamic duo, because those two link well together. You could legitimately run the Int and the AGL pretty well. Didn't get that, but who's rocking what? Coming in with... I think I'll rock this. We'll give you this, then we can feed the AGL orbs into you. That gives you 217, which is not too shabby at all. Then we're talking LR Tech 17, maybe. If you happen to have that unit, then sure, yes. But again, I'm thinking of those if you don't. You could have Easy A Metal Cooler, you're the AGL. He's pretty solid. Possibly as a lead because he's extreme. Bear in mind, we're able to do this on a 130, 170% lead, of which is free to play. So that's pretty good. And we're just about to finish this. Okay, so as a takeaway, yes, you can do this without LRs. And yes, I've just done this on level 11, which means you can certainly do it on all the other 10 levels. However, there is a small caveat to that, right? And that is, I kind of have some decent units which are easy aid, and honestly, I just couldn't see it without. In particular, we've got the type advantage unit, the type support units. They're a beast at easy aid. Metarildo is probably custom tailored for LR Baby in particular because of like GT. Like, that alone helps. You've also got Super 17 who runs GT, which it gives you 10% attack and defense, which is utter madness. Big Bad Bosses comes into play amongst these extreme, for which Android 13 has. This free-to-play LR Cell as the lead also has, and having these links at top end as well, as we can see, really matters. Just having that particular one at level 10. Honestly, I don't think this guy actually is. He's not. In fact, I've barely used him. There you go. But like, having these specific units are. And then you've also got this guy who is an absolute beast, being able to have the dodge ability. So is it possible to complete this without using the LRs? Are you struggling for a team? Yes. but there's a catch, you're going to need this team specifically. Other units, you could have, as I say, AGL Metal Coolers, that is Easy A. Hell, even the free-to-play Metal Cooler Easy A would suffice. You've also got the Cell Juniors, who would be good, but you'd want to rock this LR Cell to help with LR power. And if you had any other LR, and we're talking LR Cell, LR Super 17, Super Boo, seriously, Super Boo would be huge. As an outsider, I'm most curious, you could run Hatchiyak, LR Hatchiyak. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to try and upload this video as I can, best I can, but it pretty much proves that this team is capable of doing it if you are struggling. But as a fair warn, it is endgame content, so if you're struggling, you need to summon a few more times just to get those units. But thank you very much. This has been the Normal Player Guy. You've been a lovely audience. Hope this was informational for a lot of you guys. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you and bye bye.